Hi guys, good evening. Welcome back once again to the EdWord, and it's been a while since I've done one of these, and I'm glad that I finally am able to do one because it's been so long. But welcome to another edition of How to Get Excited For, where in tonight's video I will be giving you tips on how to get excited for the upcoming film Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which held its world premiere earlier tonight in Hollywood, California, right there at the red carpet premiere. I haven't watched the premiere online yet. I know they did a live streaming, but I believe the premiere itself is up by now. But the movie doesn't come out till the 16th, but of course many of you are probably seeing the film late Thursday night. I myself am going to be seeing it on Friday night, so I'm very much excited about it. And normally when a big movie like this comes out, I try to give people ideas of how to get excited for or what to do to get in the mood for a highly anticipated blockbuster film such as this one. So you usually hear the word Star Wars and prequel, and everybody immediately thinks of, oh, the prequel trilogy. Oh, those sucked. Oh, those were awful. They ruined my childhood. I can totally see why a lot of people would say that. I kind of grew up during the era of prequels. You know, I saw all three of them in theaters, and I was a little kid, and I really liked all of them. If I had been a little bit older and perhaps a bit more analytical, and if I had grown up on the original trilogy and I saw the original trilogy in theaters in the 70s and 80s, I probably would have despised the prequel trilogy as much as anybody else. But you know what? I don't mind them for the most part. Yeah, are they... they're nowhere near as good as the original trilogy, of course, but each one has its moments for me, at least personally. There's some pretty cool fight scenes and characters that I really enjoy, and they do help bring the Star Wars universe together, and I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat for this, but I don't really mind the prequels. Do I watch them on a regular basis? No, of course not. Given a choice, would I prefer to watch the original trilogy? Yes, absolutely. But can I sit through the prequels if I choose to watch one? Yes, definitely. Anyway, my point is that with people, you know, most people hear Star Wars and prequel, they start to get nervous. They've been referring to this one as a spin-off. You know, even going way back to when this was way in development, they referred to it as the first official Star Wars spin-off. Not a prequel, but a spin-off. So this is our first spin-off in a series of... Excuse me. This is our first spin-off. My apologies. Excuse me again. So this is the first spin-off we're going to be getting from 2 or 3 more spin-offs that are coming. Obviously, we know the young Han Solo spin-off film is coming. It's set to come out in May of 2018. What we know so far is, I'm really sorry if I butcher his name, Alden Ehrenreich is playing our young Han Solo. Donald Glover, up-and-coming actor, is playing young Lando Calrissian. And, of course, Game of Thrones' very own Khaleesi is going to be having a role in it as well. She may play a fellow smuggler or a potential love interest. Either way, she's a great actress in that genre, so it's very, very exciting stuff. And obviously, Chewbacca will most likely be returning as well. But anyway, so Rogue One is, you know, you could call it a prequel, but they prefer to call it a spin-off. You know, I won't go into plot details, but this is the story about the rebels who stole the original Death Star plans that eventually end up in the hands of Princess Leia, and this film is set several years before A New Hope occurs. So that's where they're at in the Star Wars timeline. It's like they're still in the transition period from Republic to Empire. And obviously the Empire's in power by now, but I think there's still traces of hope left in the galaxy. So that's very, very exciting to look forward to. So... for those of you who may not know, this is not the first Star Wars spin-off. They had a TV Christmas special back in the day. I believe that was the late 70s after A New Hope came out. And if it wasn't the late 70s, it was the early 80s. And speaking of the early 80s, there were 2 made-for-TV films that came out. One in 84 and then another one a year later in 85, which I just happen to have on me because I of course, love the Ewoks. I'm one of the few who do. Well, I'm not one of the few. A lot of people love the Ewoks, but I especially do. They're one of my favorite parts of the franchise. So here we are. If you want to get yourself in the mood for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, how about rewatching the original Star Wars spin-off? In this case, we have the Ewok Adventure, the Caravan of Courage, and the Battle for Endor, my favorite one. You know what? For TV movies, these were actually both very entertaining, very watchable. Granted, they're not flawless, no film ever is, but as a Star Wars fan or as an Ewok fan, you can sit through it with a smile on your face saying, this is all right. I like this. This is very, very cool. This is a lot of fun. I really enjoy this. And that's how I felt when I first saw this. You know, we rented it on VHS years and years ago from our local video store, and we watched it, me and my family, and none of us ever saw it on TV, and we're all like, wow, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. So this is a double feature DVD set I currently have here in my possession, but I'm pretty sure you can find it online on DVD. I doubt it's on Blu-ray yet, but maybe it will be right after Rogue One becomes a huge hit. Maybe they'll start putting more of their movies or Star Wars series on DVD and Blu-ray. But this one, this copy that I have is a DVD of the it's a double feature of both films. Each one is an hour and a half long. So you got about 3 hours of Star Wars spin-off right here. And they're both pretty fun movies. They're pretty damn cool. You know, they take place in the Star Wars universe. They're both made in the 80s, right after Return of the Jedi. And they're a pretty fun watch. I recommend it to anybody, especially those of us who are big Ewok fans. There may not be many of us out there, but we are out there. So to those of you who are big Ewok fans and have never seen this film, highly recommended, both of them. They're fun movies. So that's the number one thing I would recommend you would watch before you see Rogue One. Now, if you hate Ewoks or if you've seen these movies and they're uninteresting to you, something else I would recommend to you would be a Star Wars themed movie about fans looking forward to a highly anticipated Star Wars film, a comedy from about 8 years ago called Fanboys. I'm really sorry about the covering of the DVD. I bought this for really cheap at $2 in a 7-Eleven. But the DVD quality is very good, and it is the movie itself. This is an official copy. Fanboys from 2008. It's the story, of course, about a bunch of guys who try to break into the Skywalker Ranch to see Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, before it premieres to the rest of the world because their friend is dying of cancer, and he wants to see the new Star Wars movie before he dies. It's super funny, super Star Wars related, and super nerd relevant. It always cracks me up when I watch it. It's about a bunch of people going to see a highly anticipated Star Wars film with a lot of laughs along the way. Highly recommend it. It's a fun watch. And I guess I would recommend this because people's enthusiasm and excitement for Rogue One just reminded me so much. The fan base strong reaction to Rogue One so far is pretty positive, and you know the enthusiasm is so overwhelming. I guess that's why it reminded me of Fanboys. I'm like, hey, Fanboys is a fun watch, so if you want to get in the mood for Star Wars, watch Fanboys. And that's about it. That's what I would do if I were you guys. If you want to get in the mood for Rogue One, a Star Wars story, which hits theaters this coming Friday, the 16th. Tickets are now on sale everywhere. You better grab yours up now before they sell out. Last I heard, they outsold numerous 2016 big hit financial films such as Doctor Strange, Suicide Squad, and what was the other one? Another big Deadpool. Yeah. So those were big, high-grossing films of the year, but Rogue One is probably going to take the cake because it's Disney and it's Star Wars. So, all right, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. Thank you so much for watching this edition of How to Get Excited For. You can check out my playlist of How to Get Excited For videos over here on my channel, which you can subscribe to. So, and don't forget to do that. Also, don't forget to check out my Facebook page in the description down below. I think you'll like what you see. Have a great rest of the night, everybody. Thanks again for stopping by. And of course, until next time, may the Force be with you.